Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If today is the first time you're visiting with us, I want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to watch any of our over 500 videos arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both useful and entertaining to watch. If you have been here before, welcome back, but if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. If today is your birthday, we want to extend to you a very happy birthday. So in today's episode, we are going to get in our car and go and visit our local restore, and we are going to find something to purchase that we're going to use in one of our projects. So today we're going to show you what we purchased and what we're going to do to it to make it ready for whatever purpose we decide to use it. So stick around and we're going to... What? Speak. You're behind the camera, they don't see you. You need to speak. Use your words. So we are back to the homestead and we purchased two cabinets that we are going to use in the house in a future project. But we're going to take them in the shop and we're going to start working in preparing them, correcting any damage there is, or making any modifications we need to do. So we're going to take them out of the car and we're going to start working on them. So here we are, and the cabinet is now in our shop. And what we tend to do is we tend to check at the store when we find them if they have damage or not. Damage is not necessarily bad if there is something that you confidently feel you can fix. As you can see, this cabinet has very minimal, if any, damage in the back. Nothing that we need to address, and it is a little dirty, but there is nothing really here that we need to address. But there are small little things that we need to address. Overall, it is in great shape, as you can see. And we're going to make any modifications needed for us to make it what we need it or what we want it instead. And the purpose of this episode is to show you how you can take something and repurpose it while at the same time changing it significantly from what you originally purposed. So stick around and we're going to show you some fun tips, tricks and hacks in this project. So one of the first things we have to do, since this was removed from a house, it has a lot of little brad nails that we have to remove. So A, we're not going to get injured, and B, we don't need them.
More injured?
More injured.
Some of us have already been injured. So
we're going to check.
The moral of the story is if you go and you buy used cabinets, you're definitely going to want to watch for...
You will be injured, that's the moral of the story.
You're going to want to watch for screws and nails and other things that are sticking out if you're going to have to move them at all. And just be aware of that.
Okay. I'm going to go around and make sure that everything is removed, that it's what we don't need. Okay. In most cases, when you buy something from a restore, what you buy is going to be reasonably dirty or very dirty, depending on the equipment, right? Or the stuff you buy. So the next step, we made sure that there are no brad nails or anything to injure us. So the next step now is to actually clean the inside and outside of the cabinet.
It's got a lot of dust and dirt on it, but also, who handled it, how long it was in storage or anything like that. So there's some grime on it, this piece anyway. And the other thing is, whatever we do to it, we're going to want to refinish it in some way, I think.
I don't know, the colors seem to be in very good shape. We might just have to polish it, So this, other than needing hardware, I think we're going to pretty much keep it as it is, right? I mean, we're going to check it around. There is a little bit on the top that I need to secure. But I don't see any other damage.
This is pretty decent condition, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nothing major reconstructive needs to happen. Just wiping everything down and then replacing the shelves.
Right, it has two shelves inside. It has really good, when you buy, check to make sure that they're good supports, because this is what is going to hold the weight of the...
Well, and something else
So?
we noticed in a lot of the cabinets, and the backs of them have been cut out for whatever people did to them before, and this one actually is solid. Nobody's done anything to it, and the wood is in nice condition.
Right.
So that's
It also
nice.
has nice magnet closures
That's nice.
that actually work.
So overall, this doesn't need a lot. Definitely, it's worth the I think $50.
That one was 50, yeah.
We don't have the ability to make those raised panels, so that will be beyond our capabilities in the shop. So that was worth just for the detail here, right?
Yeah, and if it was less about the design and more just about the size and function of this cabinet that we were interested
So we have a few of the staples that have come out. And I'm not sure we'll be able to reuse them, but I'm trying. We might just hit a couple of brad nails here too, because this was a little floppy. It's a little better now, but I don't think that I can use this. Nah. All right, so we're going to drop a couple of brad nails here. This was the only, you want to call it damage? I don't even think it's damage, you know, what you will call this.
I mean, you're not going to see it because it'll be up against the...
And this was probably due to handling. I don't think that happened before, right?
Right.
Either we did it or the people before did it, but you know. So overall, this looks very good.
So right in there, you tap some other.
I tapped some and you see now it doesn't play as much,
It doesn't play as much.
but I need to put maybe a couple of more here and we'll be done.
Yeah, I'm just letting it focus here, and so then you're just gonna do some there. I hate.
Okay, now it is nice and sturdy. You want me to put one there?
Yeah, a couple more.
And so these are the 1/2-inch brad nails in the airstrike.
Our favorite tool, right?
Okay.
All right, and I think that's all. I mean, this doesn't worth do anything to. It doesn't. It's not structural and it's not going to ever be visible.
Right, it'll be against the wall up above. Okay.
All right, patient number one of the two cabinets we got, and this has more damage, but it is substantially cheaper too, right? So in this, we'll need to create a top. So we're going to build a top for this, and also it doesn't fit our needs. So the plan right now is to cut it and have a short, not as wide cabinet.
Right, and it also had a missing door, which kind of works in our favor because we didn't need a second door anyway. We really only want this part of it because we have a space that is fairly slim that we needed to put a cabinet in. So
Yeah.
we're going to make it fit.
So this will require more surgery than the other one. So let's get to it.
So now you're pulling the staples out of this cabinet that are
Yes.
not useful. Where's your fancy tool for that?
We didn't bring it here, remember?
I'm quite certain we did.
Well, it's nowhere in the shop, so
Here.
I'm not sure where it would be.
Here.
All right. Where are my chisels?
Your chisels.
Yes, my
What are you
chisels.
doing?
I'm trying to take these off, so when we put the top, it's going to be nice and flush, you know. And also, there are probably stuff underneath that we don't want.
Here, she's got her hand out for debris.
There's no debris though. All right. Now, even though we're going to put a top on this, we're not going to do it until we actually resize it, because that doesn't make much sense, right? It makes better sense to cut it first.
Can you wait?
I know, riveting. Yeah. And those are there because probably this had trim at some point, right?
I think.
Where's the little hammer?
This one?
I don't want it to hurt you there.
Me neither.
So this is not a very exciting part of the job, but it's necessary. Oops. And this is me breaking it. So let's put a little bit of good glue. That's okay. We need to. So we use some wood glue and repair the brake. We're going to let it sit while we're doing all the other work we need to do. And I think the next step will be really to try and cut it, right?
Yep.
Now, okay, let's take the other ones, whatever is left that we didn't take. There was one here, I think. It's probably hard for you to record because it's behind the clamp.
No, I'm good. I got it.
Again, riveting episode so far, right? And I think this is it, right?
Yeah.
What?
Right there.
Staple.
I could not see that.
I know. I pointed it out to you.
All right. And again, check that these are nice and secure because this is what will hold ultimately the cabinet to the wall. Okay. I'm not sure I can get that one. No. That's it broken. It doesn't come out. Let's take it apart. Okay. So we determined that the place that we need to put this is about 12.5 inches in width, right? So we're going to make marks on 12 inches because we also need to put a side of this. So we need to allow for that. So we're going to put 12 inches here. We're going to put marks on both top and bottom. Okay. And that clears the hardware, right?
Yep.
Right, we'll do the same on the top. Here. We're using our Swanson square.
Or what square?
Swanson. Many people call it Swanson Square, but that's a brand. This is an actual Swanson Square.
Okay. But we're not sponsored by them.
No, we're not sponsored, but... And then we're going to connect those two lines because the square is not long enough, of course. This there. So as we cut the face of the cabinet, it will not collapse on us, right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we happened to find a piece that was close enough from our scrap, and then we use an impromptu seam, right? Mm-hmm. And we made our marks here, and we're going to use our truck. So, and this is the make it or break it moment, right? And this can be
This is the make it moment.
a catastrophe.
No, it won't be.
A catastrophic disaster, as opposed to the pleasant ones. All right, so let us get set with... You know, we could have used, I didn't thought of that. It's the plans that came with it.
It's cutting through this for the first time.
I know, but it is binding for some reason. So unfortunately our track saw seized. I'm not sure why. So we have to continue with our El Chipo, no brand, handheld saw.
Tag Life.
Tag Life.
Tag Life. It's been very good to us.
It has, but it's upsetting me that the other one failed. So we're going to continue with that. You see, we did separate the face, and we need to do a little cleanup because of all the, but we still remain in the line there. So
Yep,
you know,
we got it right on the line.
so we just have a little bit of cleaning up, but we're going to do that. That's not a problem. So now we're going to turn it over and cut the back.
Yep.
Okay.
And do you want to measure from here to here so when we're in the back would go to the same spot? So we turned the piece over and we made a mark that's corresponding to the mark we made in the front, right? So now we are going to position our saw, and we're going to use this edge again to make the cut. So we're going to make the cut and we're going to be alright. So both the back and the front is now cut, and the only thing that holds the piece together is the bottom south unit, I guess. I don't know what we want to call
Yeah,
it.
it's the bottom of the.
So this represents an interesting challenge because, of course, it is recessed, right? But we're going to figure out a way to cut it, and once we have separated, we'll be right back with you. What is happening?
Okay, now go for this side.
We just have to break it.
Careful.
Here, the Franken cabin.
Magician wizard, you've sawed it in half.
No, but neither of you is sawing half, so nothing.
No,
nothing
no one
important.
was hiding inside.
Right. So now we need to figure out how we're going to create a, what we call it,
Side.
a side for this, and we'll probably
This is the one we're keeping.
cannibalize. That's the keeper.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the key.
So we'll probably cannibalize this to make parts for this.
Most definitely. Use what you got.
All right. So we're going to figure out what we do, and we're going to let you know in the very, very near future. So stick with us. Scrap. We're trying to take this apart, and we have started using percussive persuasion. And the idea is that we're going to attach it on this piece, right?
Yep, that's the keeper.
Well, I guess we don't need to take this apart, do we? No. We only need to take this apart, right? What are we taking apart again? This piece. All right. Good. So we'll continue. It is apart now. We just have to take the connections there.
Okay.
So we're going to continue taking it apart, and we'll be right back with you. And we need to reconstruct this part of the cabinet, which is still attached to this.
Yep.
So these we might just have to cut. Yeah. I think on this we need to use the Japanese saw and cut it off. So we'll keep this piece. Just the style, right?
Okay.
All right.
This seam is nothing that will help us disassemble.
I don't think so, because we need to attach this to this, right, love? And they have this part already left, right?
Okay.
Can you get me the Western saw? Thanks. Okay, we need to do the other on the other side. We need to use some fatty because I'm a little crooked. All right. So we are here and we have dry assembled the new and improved shelf, right?
Cabinet.
Cabinet. We have not attached it yet. We just took pieces from the old one and attached them to this. And because of the difference of how the old one was constructed, we took away the, what do you call that, the scale for the shelves. But we had to cut it to fit inside this space because remember the other one was quite differently built. So we have to make some adjustments. So we're going to do that next, and we're going to dry fit it. And any questions we can answer for what we're doing?
Well, yeah, so, you know, that what Elpida is holding is not permanently affixed yet. And we left it loose just so that we could make sure we had all the dimensions correct. And it does have a very snug fit, which we thought it would because it came from the same piece originally, so the dimensions were the same.
Right.
We just took part of it, you know, the cabinet out of the gap, and now we're filling it back in, putting the pieces back together. And so we have to find a match, you know, the same size of the cabinet or the shelving holder rail, the one with holes in it that has the little plugs that will hold the shelves. And so we have to make it the right length. And this one's sticking out because it originally went from
All the way to the bottom,
on
yeah.
the outside, and now it's going to be inside. So that's why we have to change the dimension here.
Okay. So let's change that. We'll dry fit again, and we'll be right back. When you cut like something like that, make sure, as you can see, I was being very careful that I will not hit any of the staples here, because unlike our Echo saw that seized, this blade will be destroyed if it hits a staple. Let's dry fit this. We're going to use some Titebond wood glue and some brad nails to hold this together. As you can see, it's actually apart. It was just dry fitted. We are very happy with the fit, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it's like it was meant to be there.
Now this is a good exercise if you have not put a cabinet together. You see how a cabinet is put together and you don't have to worry about the fine detail of how to do it, right? So, we always have this problem with the glue. I don't think it did anything. Is it holding it? Okay, so where else? Let's put all the corners first.
This corner.
Okay.
Wait, let me fit it first. Okay.
So where I need to be, I don't know where the meat is here. Am I in the meat area?
I think so.
Am I in the right area?
Yep.
I didn't do it. We always say I need to oil this.
And then we don't.
All right, so here, you want to do the nailing? So now we're going to nail the edge. Okay, every 12 inches or so.
12 inches.
Yeah. I don't think I did it. I don't think I did it again. I think that was just the hammer. Okay. Sorry, it was tilting, so you are doing nothing.
Well, there's a little bit of an edge here.
That didn't work. Okay.
Okay.
Does it feel secure? Okay. All right, let's figure out what else we need to do.
So here for this top, the top piece that's going to go on the top of the cabinet, we're taking out the old staples. It's not a thunderstorm.
Probably the mic will still get you.
Okay, so what I was saying is that we're taking out the old staples so that we can then cut it to size. It does need to be shaped up just a little bit to make it a little more of a square to fit into the opening there, and we're going to use the table saw to do that.
I think we dripped the...
Talk. This is our dry fit. We
Yep.
did the cutting
We
on
cut
the...
it. This little piece was missing when we bought it, and that's what happens sometimes when you get a second hand or something that was donated, like to the restore, that came out of another home at some point. And clearly this cabinet has seen some days.
Yeah.
So whatever the previous owner did, they took this little sliver out, and now we're just gonna see if this fits inside where it needs to go, and it does fit nice and
But I think this is inside.
think it's inside?
Yeah, because you see these marks?
Okay. Let's
I
see.
think that's the top.
Okay. Well,
But since that's going to go up against the ceiling, it doesn't really matter either way.
But you will be able to see it from it's a cabinet. That's what I mean. Which side you want to be able to see.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Either way, it fits.
Yep,
It's a nice
does
fit.
fit.
That's what we wanted. And so now we've got to put that rail that's got the holes in
so
it for...
this piece, we still have it not attached because we wanted to make sure that we got the box nice and square first. So we're gonna put this in, but we're gonna leave the top off
So we have better access.
so that we can put this in exactly where we want it to go.
All right. Great.
So now we're putting glue on the piece. We're ready to install it inside the cabinet. Putting a lot of glue to make sure it's going to stay put.
And now using brad nails again, we're attaching the self holder. That's the technical name, right?
Yeah.
We're attaching the self holder to the cabinet, as you can see in here. The next step will be to calculate the dimensions of the shelves, right? Themselves. Shelves themselves.
Yeah.
And we can go with 4 shelves if you want, because I'm sure we can make 2 shelves out of each shelf.
Well, 4 shelves might be too much because then I don't know how much she can fit in there. And if this is
Right.
a laundry area, it's usually pretty big items.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah. No more than 2 shelves.
Okay.
No more than 2.
All right. We're a little long. The bandsaw would have been the perfect tool for this.
yeah. And where are you putting the blade on there?
So I will have less to cut.
So it goes straight up and down all the way to here
Okay.
rather than leaving a,
Curve.
yeah.
I mean, I will still have to cut some, but I will have to cut less. Okay, man, it never took you that long to come out. So I think Elpida asked, I don't know if it was off camera or not, why I lifted the blade all the way up. Primarily since routinely I don't do that, right? I usually go a few, just proud of the thickness of the material. But in this case, I was trying to minimize any cutting we have to do manually, right?
And it's a pretty, 90-degree angle there. It's very, very close if it's not perfect.
Okay. So now we're going to try the fit in the
Yeah, let's dry fit it and then we can use that as a template to do the other one if we need to. So after removing this huge amount of material from our shelf, it fits almost like a glove.
Yep.
Definitely as well as you want not a drawer,
It's a utility cabinet.
a shelf to fit.
Yeah, shelf.
Yeah, and it's going to look nice. Yeah.
So we're going to use this now to notch this and we'll have our two shelves.
Yep.
We'll use it, let's take it out and use it as a template for
Here
this.
we are.
Here we are. And the two shelves are in position. Again, we made two shelves out of one, so that's pretty good economy.
Yeah.
So the next step will be to put the top on. I'll let you do the honors. Actually, do you want to put glue first and then we can tack it?
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
making sure we have the right orientation here.
In cabinetry, glue is your friend, right?
Yes.
You want glue. And again, this is a good exercise if you plan to try to build your own cabinets. Taking one apart is a good exercise, right? And instead of taking it apart and destroying it, we made it fit our needs. Because let's face it, we could not buy this cabinet off shelf, no matter what we did, right? It's a very unique shape and size.
It is.
Rolling again.
All right.
Here we go.
And even though this will be on top and it won't be visible, we still want you to close it correctly, right?
Right.
It actually adds a little bit of strength. I don't know how heavy stuff Miss Wizard will put on this cabinet, but you know, if she decides to put heavy stuff, she can. We may be out if it doesn't fire.
We're out of bullet.
All right.
I think your air nailer needs some attention.
Well, it probably has sat several thousand nails, you
Oh,
know.
I know, but you know, it just needs a little TLC off camera, so it'll continue to
We cannot break another tool
be
today.
our workhorse. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Because we do use this a lot.
That we do. All right, I think we're good, aren't we?
She wants to making sure. Okay.
Shoe making.
So now the top is secure.
Let's put it on top of here and put the door on, right?
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to lay it down so that you don't have to?
I don't know, do you want it laid down? I'm afraid the slabs, the sleeve, the
That's a
the
good.
shelves will probably fall. What do you want? Any way you want it.
I think they're pretty snug in there, actually. When you find the door,
We like snug fit, right?
Overall, yes, you do. That's what she said.
anybody know where the door went?
I know
There, I think that's it over there. Next to the
the case of
Thought
the
you'd get away, didn't
another
you?
mystery
case of the missing door.
in the midst of our Franken cabinet project.
All right, now the case of the missing screws.
Nope, we know where those are.
The case of the non-missing screws. All right, so we're very messy. Look at the cabinet.
Why do you
Okay,
think we're
this is
messy? I mean,
which is top and which is bottom, because that is the bottom of the door. I mean, I guess it doesn't make much difference.
well, this is
This
the
is where
bottom.
the screws
Yeah.
came out of.
Okay,
So
And
this is where
the
they
bottom
go.
because
All
this
right,
is the
I was-
top we just created.
I was just checking.
You're chickening?
I was chickening.
Chickening.
You want a better screwdriver?
No.
Want the worst screwdriver?
Nothing wrong with this one.
You had a hard time unscrewing before. I think it's a little too big for the screws.
We took them out.
But is it putting them in?
I can't see. The lighting. The light guy is really
Well, we'll fire the light coordinator.
lacking.
Who did that?
Great.
I didn't do that. Who did it?
Well, who did it if it wasn't you?
I'm sure it was you.
That would be difficult considering I'm now taking over the position of the lighting person as well as the camera person.
Your lights and camera.
Yeah, I'm lights and camera, so I have both hands occupied.
We just complained about the light coordinator, and that was not your duty earlier
No, it was not.
when the mishap happened.
Actually it was.
So do you want a smaller screwdriver or not?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
I'm making it work. Now when the lighting problem was happening, I wasn't in charge of lights. That was somebody else.
Exactly.
Somebody else.
Not me. I was on camera. I couldn't be on camera and lights.
You weren't on camera.
I was on camera. I said, I'm the talent, remember? Look at that. It looks like a cabinet.
It kind of does.
And it is matching and everything. So here we are. We ended up with the two cabinets we want. And again, this was not as hard, but this one we would definitely not go and buy out of a shelf, right? Out of a shelf?
Off the shelf.
Off the shelf.
Yeah.
Or out of the shelf for that matter.
So this one originally, remember, was a double the size.
Mm-hmm.
It was missing a door, but it essentially looked very similar to this one we see here. But we knew we needed something very slender to go in our space.
And that is not, that's the smaller door, so it's not that kind of door. So we
Right, it is
we
smaller.
needed that dimension. You know what we didn't do? We didn't check what dimension we finished up with.
It's the dimension we want.
Okay.
And the door, and I looked and looked for a cabinet that had the door opening this way because we need it in this orientation. We didn't want it opening this way towards the other cabinet.
So are we going to repaint this or we're going to leave it like this?
We'll have to see.
Okay, we have to see is the
Have to see. And we
Official
need
answer.
to buy some knobs. It didn't come with any knobs.
right. So what did we spend on this in addition to our hard labor?
This cost us $95, and they're really tough cabinets. I mean, those doors are heavy. It's nice, solid cabinets.
Yeah, they were wooden plywood cabinets. We didn't see other material in them, right?
Right. And the hinges are just perfect to go with the rest of
Right.
our house.
So why DIY? That is the reason, right? We could not find what we needed, already made. And if we were to hire a cabinet maker to build it, that would be very, very expensive.
Right.
Much more than $75 for sure.
And it gives, cabinets that somebody else took out of their home and donated a second chance, a new life.
And the Restore organization money to operate.
That's exactly right. It's a great charitable organization.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. And if we did, we'll appreciate a thumbs up. If you did,
Did you?
if you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know what you would like to see in future episodes. From Dr. Wizard, I almost did it. I didn't this time.
You're getting better.
From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and of course the Urban Homesteading channel. We want to bid you a great week. Stay safe. Put your masks on. Wash your hands. And we're going to see you soon with another episode. Farewell, friends.